expert credentials here, and they are, I've got hair, it's clean, and what have I been using? CeraVe's new shampoos and conditioners that we need to discuss. This video is not sponsored, and I do work with CeraVe from time to time. First and foremost, I was elated to see that CeraVe, a L'Oreal brand, was dipping their toes in the shampoo conditioner waters because I knew they were going to come out with something to add to the fragrance-free hair care market. If you're allergic to fragrance, your options for shampoos and conditioners are very, very limited. If you're allergic to fragrance and you happen to have dandruff, Vanity Cream is like one of your main options. All right, CeraVe makes products with ceramides. Their whole branding is CeraVe, which stands for ceramide vehicle. So all of these shampoos and conditioners have ceramides, which for the scalp, great. Ceramides applied topically will help with potentially reducing dryness and irritation, which often can coincide with the use of an anti-dandruff shampoo. CeraVe also puts niacinamide in most of their products, including these shampoos and conditioners. Now, as a scalp-directed product, shampoo with niacinamide, the niacinamide may be helpful for addressing dryness, irritation, helping with the moisture barrier, reducing inflammation in the scalp. Provided you tolerate it, I do know that some of you find that niacinamide in facial skincare products burns, stings, causes irritation. So just be aware, because while your scalp might tolerate it, some may end up getting transferred to your face and causing irritation if you're sensitive to it. Now, let's talk about the anti-dandruff products, okay? Let's talk about those bad boys. They have the active ingredient zinc pyrithione. Zinc pyrithione shampoos for dandruff can work really well, and I have a lot of videos about zinc pyrithione, how it works. It is an antifungal. Dandruff and its relative seborrheic dermatitis, which are basically different manifestations of the same condition, revolve around a little yeast that naturally lives on everyone's skin called malassezia. Some people have some degree of immune dysregulation such that they appear to mount an abnormal response against malassezia. That, coupled with maybe excessive sebum production, seborrhea, creates a more favorable environment for malassezia. Malassezia makes an enzyme called a lipase that breaks down your sebum and can release compounds that are irritating to the skin and compromise barrier integrity. All of these underlying issues are what lead to flake formation in the scalp, as well as scalp itch, scalp irritation. Zinc pyrithione as an antifungal ingredient can help address these conditions, as well as the symptoms of itch related to having dandruff/seborrheic dermatitis. How does zinc pyrithione attack that little yeast? A few different mechanisms. Zinc pyrithione can lead to an increase in zinc within the yeast cells, which is very stressful, and it also can chelate copper, resulting in the formation of copper pyrithione that gets into the yeast and results in problems with yeast mitochondrial function. And zinc pyrithione also inhibits the nutrient uptake necessary for the yeast to thrive in the first place. Zinc pyrithione has some anti-inflammatory properties as well. Now, at this point in the video, maybe you're one of those people who skipped ahead because you don't have dandruff, you don't have seborrheic dermatitis, but if you skipped ahead, you might miss the fact that even if you don't have these conditions, say you have hair loss, there's evidence that malassezia yeast and inflammation as a result of it might be contributing to androgenetic alopecia, and incorporating a medicated anti-dandruff shampoo with zinc pyrithione might actually help your hair loss journey out. But if you skipped over this part, you're not going to know that. These anti-dandruff shampoos and conditioners, they're not the only zinc pyrithione anti-dandruff options on the planet, but we don't have a lot of options in the realm of fragrance-free, and now we do from CeraVe. Ooh, made a rhyme. All right, so they have an anti-dandruff hydrating shampoo with 1% zinc pyrithione. They have an anti-dandruff conditioner with 0.5% zinc pyrithione, and they also have a 2-in-1. The shampoo and conditioner, for me, amazing. Resulted in my hair being clean, manageable, bouncy, shiny. It was like, wow, I really saw a visible difference in my hair using the shampoo and conditioner. The 2-in-1 product, however, while it worked out well for me and I liked how my hair was the following day, it wasn't quite as impressive as using the shampoo and using the conditioner. So remember, shampoo is a scalp-directed product, especially when we're talking about treating dandruff. You want to direct the lather to your scalp, not the ends of your hair. Conditioner, on the other hand, is not a scalp-directed product, but rather is meant for the hair strands to allow for them to be more manageable, to cut down on tangling. Does zinc pyrithione in a conditioner conditioner help dandruff? Kind of hard to say if you're not directing the conditioner to your scalp. Nonetheless, I'm one of those matchy people. If there is a shampoo with a matching conditioner, I'm going to use them in tandem. So that's what I did, and the results were very impressive. Now, that being said, some people with more of a textured hair type that is a lot more prone to breakage, fragility, those hair types may find that using a conditioner up close to the scalp is very helpful for their hair care needs, in which case I think this is a perfect pairing, the shampoo and the conditioner. Now, the 2-in-1 product, let's talk about that. I got good results with that, like I said, but not quite as wow factor as when I use the shampoo and conditioner separately. And I think a lot of that has to do with how 2-in-1 products perform for me as someone with long hair, in that I really benefit from a scalp directed shampoo followed by a latter third ends directed conditioner. Okay, that's really what my hair needs. However, if you have a short hair style and you don't really deal with tangling, you might do really well with just a 2-in-1 product, a shampoo conditioner 2-in-1. I think shorter hair types do really well with this, rather than having a shampoo step and then a conditioning step when your ends are so close to your scalp already. Maybe you don't really deal with a lot of tangles. Do the 2-in-1. It's a great product. It works really well. Now, while these are fragrance free, they are not pleasant experience free. They have a really nice lather to them, and they rinse out very efficiently. One thing for me, if I'm using a shampoo that does not rinse out well, one thing for sure, if you use a shampoo that does not rinse out well, especially if you have thicker, textured, wavy, curly hair, that shampoo residue can get left behind on the scalp and be super irritating. Not to mention, the shampoo residue on your hair can lead to this kind of dull appearance of a buildup almost. Not the case with this. Rinses out beautifully. I mean, the softest, bounciest hair ever. And I'm not just talking first impression. I have used the shampoo and the conditioner very consistently. The 2-in-1 product for me, good results, but my hair is just a little bit like, could have used a little bit more conditioner, in that I get a little bit of the wandering waves that wander away, okay? My hair, on the other hand, when I do the shampoo followed by the conditioner to my ends, like I would normally in my, normal everyday life, then I get these strands that are perfect waves in alignment with one another, smooth, shiny, bouncy. It's just like very impressive next day results. So love these products, especially for me at least, the shampoo and the conditioner. Okay, so that's the anti-dandruff stuff. If you have dandruff, are these going to be a game changer for you? They might very well be, with the caveat that not everyone with dandruff necessarily gets the best results from zinc pyrithione. Some people do really well, respond really well to it, whereas others need other medicated anti-dandruff ingredients. Zinc pyrithione is not the only one out there. You also have selenium sulfide, you have coal tar, you have salicylic acid, you have ketoconazole in Nizoral shampoo. So not the only options. Some people, zinc pyrithione does not appear to cut it. Other people, it's good but not quite good enough, and so they do well using zinc pyrithione, and then on another day of the week maybe trying another ingredient like selenium sulfide, alternating. All right, it's a bit of play around and find out. That is how anti-dandruff shampoos work for a lot of people. It's not a one-size-fits-all approach, but zinc pyrithione for sure is a super evidence-based medicated ingredient. Is an over-the-counter medication for the purposes of treating dandruff. So if you've got dandruff, great. Also, I'm talking about zinc pyrithione as an ingredient in shampoos that can be directed to the body as a body lather to help control flare-ups of that skin condition related to the Malassezia yeast Tinea versicolor. And these shampoos would be an option. The anti-dandruff hydrating shampoo would be an option to do that. And it's free of fragrance. So if you're fragrant allergic and you have Tinea versicolor, this would be an option for you. Now, its competitor in the realm of fragrance-free zinc pyrithione shampoos would be Vanicream. I actually think this performs, for me at least, as someone with long, wavy hair, these shampoos I get better results from than Vanicream's anti-dandruff shampoo in terms of better manageability, better gloss, shine, bounce, softer, smoother, shinier hair. The cosmetic outcome of using this for me is better than Vanicream. Now, maybe you have an oilier hair type, a different hair texture, and you've been getting along really well with Vanicream, then maybe you might find this to be disappointing. This is one of those cases where everyone's hair is different, so what works for me might not work for you. Maybe you have dandruff that doesn't respond that well to zinc pyrithione and you're like, this is not cutting it. But all in all, for zinc pyrithione shampoos, these are excellent. They're excellent. I was really nervous that these were going to be duds because CeraVe is so good at skincare that when they said they were going to get into hair care and they went all in with an anti-dandruff medicated shampoo, I got a little nervous, but they certainly delivered. And it's no surprise, they're a L'Oreal owned company, and L'Oreal Hair Care, lots of R&D, great shampoos and conditioners from many of their brands that they own. So no surprise there. I'm hopeful that in the future we will see anti-dandruff shampoos from CeraVe with some of the other ingredients. Fingers crossed. I don't have any insider knowledge into what they're cooking up behind the scenes, but I would really love to see maybe a selenium sulfide, maybe a ketoconazole, all right? Something else besides Nizoral brand shampoo, just to have another option. It's salicylic acid. You know, we have the Neutrogena T-Cell shampoo, great, fragrance-free, but if CeraVe came out with one, you know, it'd shake things up a bit. So I really hope to see that in the future. Now, they also came out with just a regular old non-anti-dandruff shampoo and conditioner. Amazing, amazing. For me, they perform very similar. The shampoo and the conditioner performs pretty much identically to the zinc pyrithione shampoo and conditioner, only without the zinc pyrithione. While it's not an anti-dandruff shampoo, consistent scalp cleansing is a mainstay in reducing flare-ups and symptoms of dandruff and reducing the burden of malassezia yeast. Ultimately, that'll help not only dandruff, but may also help you out in terms of controlling other facial eruptions related to malassezia. For example, a lot of people with atopic dermatitis develop skin problems related to malassezia on the face. Check out my video on signs of too much yeast. I go over all of the different skin rashes related to malassezia, so check that video out. But you might find that just consistent shampooing helps control some of those flare-ups because it helps to cut down on the sebum buildup that fuels that yeast to overgrow and for you to have some immune response against it. Some degree with some frequency of consistent scalp shampooing is key. These wackos that get on the internet and tell everybody to stop shampooing their hair, listen, there are some people who that might be okay, but it's not the way to go. Trust me, it's not the way to go. You're going to be a yeasty beastie scalp. While the anti-dandruff shampoo ingredients, the medicated shampoos, are a mainstay for dandruff and they do tackle that yeast, frequent shampooing with a non-medicated shampoo indirectly can help as well by just reducing the oil in the scalp, removing it, and helping to lower the burden of yeast secondarily. So just consistent shampooing with a non-dandruff shampoo can also help you out a lot. But of course, if you have dandruff, the medicated anti-dandruff ingredients, they really get in there and they do something specific, direct, and act fast for symptom control and reduction in flare-up. Highly recommend these. Highly, highly recommend trying these out. They're like $10 a piece, not the cheapest, but also pretty reasonable. Pretty dang reasonable. I have been so impressed with these. Like, I've been using them regularly now for several weeks. No weird buildup. On the end slide, I'm going to put one of my recent CeraVe product review videos, so check that one out if you missed it. But if you guys like this video, give it a thumbs up, share it with your friends, and as always, don't forget, sunscreen and subscribe. I'll talk to you guys tomorrow. Bye!